Ever since the election of Joe Biden, we needed to check in and find if we could have a vision and be sure God was still on the throne. Is he still in charge?
We can only speculate. One of the speculations is that about half of the jobs in the United States, a highly developed country, is threatened today to be replaced in the next 10, 15 years by artificial intelligence, robotization, three-dimensional printing.
So this is why if we want to, reduce a hot labor market, cool it down a bit, it may involve some job losses.
Overall unemployment numbers are incredible. Tens of thousands being, laid off in the tech sector, but we're at an unemployment rate that's at a, tied for a 50-year low. It's like, 3.5%, which is extraordinarily low.
And that's, for example, also certainly one of the reasons for the success of presidential candidate Trump in the United States, because so many people are afraid to lose a job.
It's quite interesting how certain people have literally taken control of our world. Not only are they telling you what's going to happen, they're also telling you how what's going to happen is going to happen, which means they have complete and total control of what's happening today. So that video of Klaus Schwab was shot about 5 or 6 months ago, where he was predicting exactly the events that we're seeing today. Like right now, hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions of people across America, have already lost their job. The education system is a mess, and he also talked about that. I'll show you that clip in a minute. That should tell you that there are people in the world that are extremely, extremely powerful. And the way that they speak, it's as if they control the very fabric of reality itself. That kind of gets us to think about the subject of sovereignty, like the sovereignty of God. It's interesting when you tell people that God is sovereign, which means God does whatever he wants, whatever he pleases in heaven and on earth. They fight you for that. Some people will tell you, no, the sovereignty of God has a certain limit. But when you're looking at somebody like Klaus Schwab telling you how the economy of the United States, the economy of the world would be upside down, and he's telling you how the education system, what he wants to do with it, and what he wants to do from a socio-political standpoint, no one bats an eye because he has the power and the means to do that.
We will concentrate much more on systems design for the future, shaping the future of digital industries, shaping the future of the financial and monetary system, shaping the future of health system, shaping the future of socially inclusive countries, shaping the future of education, and I could go on and on.
He has the means to do that with Hollywood. He has the means to do that with our politicians. He also has the means to do that from a technological standpoint. That's the same guy who said whoever masters the technology of the world, which means AI and all other future technology that they're working on, will be the master of the world.
Our life in 10 years from now will be completely different, very much affected, and who masters those technologies in some way will be the master of the world.
No one bats an eye, no one argues when this guy is predicting the future and is showing his sovereignty and the power that he has around the world and in almost every sector of our life. That man is powerful, but he's not all powerful. He has a lot of beans for sure and a lot of money. However, he is just a man living in a world made by God. And again, I ask, if one man can have all of this power, then what about God? What about the sovereignty of God?
When I look out of my window in our headquarters in Geneva, I can look across the lake and I see the World Health Organization. We even have our own team developing artificial intelligence, the impact of the fourth industrial revolution. This will be, apart from, let's say, geopolitical developments and so on, this will be the big challenge of humankind in the coming years.
Isaiah needed to find God. And he needed to check on one thing to start with. Is he still in charge? Right? Verse 1, in the year of King Uzziah's death, I saw the Lord. Here's the good news. Sitting on what? What? Thank you, Lord. Ever since the election of Joe Biden, we needed to check in and find if we could have a vision and be sure God was still on the throne. He needed sovereignty for comfort. The most comforting doctrine of all is sovereignty of God. He's on the throne. Nothing has changed. He is not only on the throne, he's not slouching. He is lofty and exalted, and his glory completely fills the temple in the vision. In other words, his glory extends throughout the fullness of everything that Isaiah can see. He is all glorious, lofty, exalted, absolutely sovereign. He is undisturbed. He is unconquered. He is impassible, which is to say he is unaffected. This is exactly what Isaiah needed to see because everything seemed so out of control. In the 14th chapter of Isaiah, verse 24, the Lord of hosts, Isaiah writes, "The Lord of hosts has sworn, saying, surely, just as I have intended, so it has happened. And just as I have planned, so it will stand." Is that comforting? Isaiah's comfort is based on God's sovereignty. The greatest comfort we have is that God is on the throne, high, lifted up, and his glory fills everything. The plan is on schedule. It just happens to be the plan of judgment.
I think it's important for us as believers when we see these people with so much power predicting the future and these things actually happen. I think it's very crucial for us to remember that they may have a lot of power, a lot of means, a lot of authority, a lot of influence, but they do not own the world. We remember the words of David in Psalm 24, I believe, where David says, "The earth is the Lord and all it contains, the world and all those who live in it." So the earth is not for these people. They may have the power and the means and the capacity to do whatever they can do within the confines of the sovereignty of God. But at the end of the day, the earth, this planet, belongs to God. And God will protect those who are his. God will protect his church. God will provide for those who are in him. If you remember the story of Job, Job was very prosperous. He was a God-fearing man. Satan wanted to attack Job. However, he couldn't do it without the approval of God. And God gave Satan limits, conditions, stipulations within which he can only do what he was permitted by God to Job. He could not do no other. Satan had to follow God's guidelines. It is the same way with these people. They may have a lot of power. They may be advancing their agenda. They may be working for the coming Antichrist. However, everything that they do, they're doing them within the confines, within the guidelines of what the sovereign of the universe has permitted them to do. There are a lot of things that are happening in the world today, from a political standpoint, from an economic standpoint. But as Christians, we need to remember that this world belongs to God. So brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, be of good courage when you see the world fall into chaos. Our God is sovereign over everything. So trust in him, because it's at the same exact spot where it's always been, on his throne. I hope this was encouraging to you. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next video.